Hi everybody, I hope you're all doing well out there in YouTube land and the VC and Beatles world. Are you feeling kinky? Are you? Well, there you are, because today we're going to be looking at my Kinks collection. It's not a complete discography, by the way. This is just purely some of the Kinks albums that I have in my collection. Some of them are good, some of them aren't so good, some of them are rare, some of them aren't very rare, some are worth a bit of money, some are worth, just a couple of quid. So if you're sitting comfortably, we'll begin. So, are you feeling kinky? The first one in my collection is this. It's simply called The Kinks, which is like a basic rehash of their first album, but it hasn't got You Really Got Me on it. I think there's another song that's not on it as well. So you get Beautiful Delilah, So Mystifying, You Just Can't Go to Sleep, Long Tall Shorty, I Took My Baby Home, I'm a Lover Not a Fighter, Side 2 is Cadillac, Bold Headed Woman, Revenge, Too Much Monkey Business, I've Been Driving on Bold Mountain, and Stop Your Sobbing. Stop Your Sobbing is a fantastic song, and of course the Pretenders did a version of that, didn't they? This is on Hallmark, so it's like a budget label, and you can usually pick these up for around the £5 to £10 mark. And I've actually got not one, not two, but 3 copies of this. I think Sue brought me one, I think my mum brought me one, and I think I bought one at a record fair. It is quite a nice sounding album. This is actually based on this one, which is the Kinks' debut album. So Mystifying, I think, is the other one that's missing off here. No, it's not. Got Love If You Want. Yeah, so basically it's that is that, but you don't get You Really Got Me and Got Love If You Want It. I think everything else is the same. This was the Kinks, official debut. It was on Pi Records, and it's NPL 18096, and this is mono. And it took me years to find this. Like I say, I've got these ones, and I've got one on Golden Guinea, which is basically the same album, but this is original UK first pressing. Mainly covers band on here, to be honest. There's only a couple of A. Davis sort of like originals. Started off as like a rhythm and blues band, didn't they, the Kinks? And wasn't the original name the Ravens, I think? So this one is actually quite rare. It's not the best Kinks album in the world, to be honest. They did go on to do better albums than this, but everybody has to start somewhere. And this was the Kinks' first album. The only downside is, but it was like a lot of the bands at the time, there's a hell of a lot of cover versions on it. But even the Beatles' first few albums had cover versions, didn't they? So we can't really blame the Kinks for that. Lovely sounding record, produced by Shel Talmy. And like I say, it's on Pi. Because in England in the 60s was the big four, wasn't there? There was Parlophone, Pi, Decca, and was it HMV or somebody like that? Yeah. So this is where it all started for the Kinks. Fantastic album. Original copies of this do go for quite a lot of money. I think I paid something like £30 for this, and on certain selling sites these usually go for £50 plus. Then we've got another version of it, which is this one, which again, this is a slightly later copy from 1966, and it's a reissue, and it's on Golden Guinea, which was still part of the Pi catalogue. Exactly the same tracks. Yeah, exactly the same tracks. The only difference is this is GGL0357. And again, this one is actually quite hard to get. Pi Records, ATV House, Cumberland Place, London, W1. Nice album though. So those two, if you can ever find them for a decent price, I would advise to get them if if you're a Kinks fan. If you're just a casual Kinks fan, are you not the biggest fan in the world of the Kinks? If you ever see the Hallmark one, pick that one up, because you basically are getting the same sort of album. Then we've got this one. This was the second Kinks album, I think, and it's called Kinda Kinks, although this is a later reissue. This is on Pi Popular NPL 181120. This one is mono, by the way. So you've got Look for My Baby, Got My Feet on the Ground, Nothing in the World Can Stop, Me Worrying About That Girl, Nagging Woman. So you're feeling kinky, and you've got to have a nagging woman, haven't you? Wondering Where My Baby Is. Wonder Where My Baby Is, sorry. Tired of Waiting. So tired. Tired of waiting. Tired of waiting for you. But then you've got Dancing in the Street. Don't Ever Change. Come On Now. So Long. You Shouldn't Be Sad. And Something Better Beginning. Something Better Beginning is quite a good song. Originally released in 1965, but like I say, this is a later copy, and it is mono from the 1970s, but it's still a cracking sounding album, getting to sound more like the Kinks we all love on this one, to be honest. Then we've got the Kinks Controversy, again 1965. This is an original copy, but it has got surface marks and noise, but it doesn't skip. Now when I play this, I can't really hear the surface noise. I got this from my mates at BPM, and I think this might be one where they actually dropped a clanger, because I think this is worth more than £10. So thanks, Dave and Anthony. I've had it for a few years. Again, I think this was produced by Show Tamney. You've got Milk Cow Blues, Ring the Bells, Got to Get the First Plane Home, When I See That Girl of Mine, I Am Free, Till the End of the Day. Till the End of the Day, standout track on this. But there's a couple of other ones. You've got The World Keeps Going Round, I'm on an Island, Where Have All the Good Times Gone? Fantastic song. David Bowie did a cover of that, didn't he? It's Too Late, What's in Store for Me, and You Can't Win. And this one is from 1965, so it's NPL 18131. So have I got them right? Yeah, I thought I got them in the wrong order then. Then we get on to one of the first sort of like UK Kinks compilation albums. Again, this was released on a slightly budget label that was still part of the Pi companies, and it's called Well Respected Kinks. You've got some really, really well-known songs on this. Another one where if you're just a casual fan of the Kinks, this probably do you. You've got Well Respected Man, Where Have All the Good Times Gone, Till the End of the Day, Set Me Free, fantastic song, Tired of Waiting for You, All the Day and All the Night, I Gotta Move, Don't You Fret, Wait Till the Summer Comes Along, and then it finishes off with You Really Got Me. And it does tell you about all of the members of the Kinks there. Again, you can usually pick these up pretty cheap, usually around the £10 mark. That Kinks Controversy one usually goes for around the £50 mark, and the Kinda Kinks usually goes for around the £50 mark. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. And then we've got another version of that one. These are all the same copies, MAL 612, but this is what I mean. You can pick these up for around the £5 to £10 mark usually. That one's in quite nice condition. Same record. And we've even got another one. So I've got 3 copies of that. But having said that, it is a really, really nice, pleasant album to listen to. Then we've got Face to Face. This is a reissue from the 1980s, maybe 1990s. And it was originally released in 1966 on Pi, so the original catalogue number would have been MPL 18149. And on here you've got Party Line, Rosie, won't you come back? Rosie, won't you please come home? That one. Dandy. Too much on my mind. Session Man. Rainy Day in June. House in the Countryside. Too. You got Holiday in Waikiki. Most Exclusive Residence for Sale. Fancy Little Miss Queenie of Dark. Fancy, yeah. Little Miss Queen of Darkness, you're right. You're Looking Fine, Sunny Afternoon, and I Remember. So this is where you're starting to get sort of like the classic sort of Kinks songs now. Sunny Afternoon was a fantastic song, wasn't it? Party Line's good. Rosie, Won't You Please Come Home is a great song. Dandy. Of all people, Herman's Hermits did a version of that, didn't they? You know, so I think this is when, although I think it was still produced by Show Tammy, I think Ray Davies started to produce most of this. I could be wrong. Doesn't really say. Mr. David Davis costumes. Right. But this is actually on Sanctuary Records, this one, so it's a reissue. Very, very nice album. Bit of a psychedelic sort of like sleeve. Some good songs on it. This next one is probably, it's either my favourite or my second favourite Kinks album. I can never make my mind up whether it's this or another one. And it's Something Else by the Kinks from 1967. And you've got Death of a Clown on this, and you know, some really, really great songs. This is a reissue. I won't get this one. So you've got David Watts. The Jam did a version of that, didn't they? Then you got Death of a Clown, which, although it was a Kinks record, was actually released as a Dave Davies solo record. Two Sisters. She was so jealous of her sister. No Return. Harry Rag. Harry Rag, Harry Rag, do anything just to get to Harry Rag, and I curse myself for the life I've led. Roll myself a Harry Rag and put myself to bed. Brilliant song. Tin Soldier Man, another great Ray Davies song. And then Situations Vacant. Now, Situations Vacant is a very, very clever song. Honestly, check it out on YouTube. It's about, how can I put it, a couple that live together, and the gentleman in it, or the husband, is never good enough for his mother-in-law, so he has to keep looking for another job just to please his mother-in-law, and then in the end, you know, he loses everything. He loses the girl, he loses his ass, you know, his mates and everything. Side 2 starts off with Love Me Till the Sun Shines, great song. Lazy Old Sun, Afternoon Tea, which again is a very, very clever song, because it's just a song about drinking tea. I'll drink afternoon tea, if you want to drink it with me. You know, how he turned drinking a cup of tea into a song, I'll never know. Then you got Funny Face, End of Season, and it closes off with the classic Waterloo Sunset, which is probably one of the most well-known Kink songs ever, isn't it? So that is a reissue from, I think it was 2023, it says on there. Sorry, 2003. Great sounding record. Again, this is one where I've always wanted an original copy. I've sort of got the next best thing, which is this, which is a reissue. So you don't get the gatefold sleeve like you do on that one. And this is on, it is on Pi, but it's like a later, it's a black and white label. So it's NSPL 18193. This is, honestly, Something Else by the Kinks is a fantastic album. I can't praise it enough, to be honest. It is one of those albums where you'll put it on at the beginning and you'll listen to it all the way through. You won't skip any songs, or if you do, I'd be very, very surprised. classic Kinks album. Very, very underrated. When this came out, it was classed as a bit of a flop, but now it's like regarded in high esteem, which it should always have been. Fantastic album. If you ever see this, original copies go for stupid money. You're talking hundreds of pounds sometimes. This one, I've seen it on a internet selling site, and even for this like reissue from the 70s, these can go anywhere between £50 and £100. So you know, keep your eyes peeled, as Shaw Taylor used to say. Then we've got, this is like a bootleg, the Kinks Transmission 1964 to 1968. It's shows songs they did for radio shows like all through Europe, all across Europe. Mainly Radio Luxembourg, I think. But you've got some fantastic renditions of the songs. You've got Mr. Pleasant, Sunny Afternoon, Days, All the Day and All the Night, Waterloo Sunset, Susanna's Still Alive, which again was technically a Kinks song, but was released as a Dave Davis solo song. Harry Rag, Death of a Clown, This Strange Effect. And then you've got side B is You Really Got Me, Tired of Waiting for You, See My Friends, Till the End of the Day, The Village Green Preservation Society, fantastic song. Love Me Till the Sun Shines, Where Have All the Good Times Gone, Well Respected Man, and Everybody's Gonna Be Happy. So there is some fantastic songs on it, and the sound quality on this, to be honest, is amazing. You know, for saying it's not an official Kinks LP, it does fit very nicely into my Kinks collection. Now, when I said Something Else, I can never work out if that's my best Kinks album or another song, another LP is this. The Kinks Are the Village Green Preservation Society. Fantastic song. Side 1, The Village Green Preservation Society. Then you've got Do You Remember Walter, Picture Book, Johnny Thunder, Last of the Steam-Powered Trains, I'm the last of this good old-fashioned steam trains, Big Sky, Sitting by the Riverside. Then you've got Animal Farm, which again is a fantastic song, Village Green, Starstruck, Phenomenal Cat, All of My Friends Were There, Wicked Annabelle, which is about a naughty lady, Monica, and People Take Pictures of Each Other. This is a stereo reissue. Very, very underrated album, and I mean very, very underrated album. This was actually classed as a flop when it came out, and the Kinks nearly split up. Luckily they didn't, you know, they went on to have greater success. Nowadays, this is regarded as one of the best Kinks LPs ever. I would say this is my favourite Kinks album, followed closely second by Something Else. Depending on which day it's either this or Something Else, I think they are, for me, they are the best albums the Kinks ever made. This was sort of like a concept album, looking back at all the good things, but also looking towards the future. Yeah, great album. I think this was the last LP to feature Pete Quiff, wasn't it? Then he sadly left, didn't he? And John Dalton took his place. Lovely Dandelion and Burdock. What's this one? Then we've got Arthur, which was actually sort of like it's supposed to be for a television program or something. I don't think the TV program ever got made, and it's about somebody that emigrates to Australia. And it was based on Ray Davies's brother-in-law, I think. But you have got some classic Kinks songs on this. You've got Victoria, Yes Sir, No Sir, Some Mother's Son, Driving, Brainwashed, Australia. Then you've got side 2, Shangri-La, which is a fantastic song. Absolutely wonderful song that is. Then you've got Mr. Churchill Says, She Bought a Hat, Like Princess Martina, Young and Innocent Days, Nothing to Say, and then it finishes off with Arthur. I love Victoria. I think it's a fantastic song, and I love Shangri-La. Again, this is an album where if you've got the time to sit down and actually listen to it, it tells your story from the beginning to the end. A concept album of sorts. I seem to remember it was going to be something to do with Grenada, about somebody emigrating to Australia. So they was commissioned to write like a soundtrack to it, but the actual program never got made. 1969 this was from. Originally, stereo NSPL 18317, although this is a reissue on Sanctuary Records. Yeah, commissioned by Granada TV Limited, it says. But again, it's one of those which is a bit of a forgotten gem. I paid £25 for this for reissue. Originals of this are very, very, very hard to get. Next we have the Kinks. The Kinks Part 1, it says, Lola versus Power Man and the Money Go Round. This was actually recorded when Ray was, having a lot of difficulties with being paid royalties and things like that, and it's sort of like his lost faith in the record industry. Some great songs on it though. I mean, you've got The Contenders, Strangers, Denmark Street, Get Back in Line, Lola, Top of the Pops, and The Money Go Round. Side 2, you've got This Time Tomorrow, A Long Way From Home, Rats, 8 Man, Power Man, Got to Be Free. Obviously, Lola is the standout track for me on this. Top of the Pops is a good one. Get Back in Line is a good one. 8 Man was a single as well, and Got to Be Free is good. This is a UK original. So it's on Pi and it's NSPL 18359. And I got this the other week at a local record fair and I paid all of £10 for it. On some sites this goes for a hell of a lot more than £10. I'm just happy to have the original. I have got a reissue of it as well. So, it's sort of like the last sort of like great Kinks album of the 60s, I'd say. Although it was released in 1970. But you know what I mean, like of the classic lineup of the Kinks and the Pi catalogue. Or that wasn't it on reprise in America, I think. Fantastic album. You can pick these up fairly cheaply, folks. But if you want a decent copy, you will be paying, a decent amount for it. These usually go for around the £25 to £50 mark. Some sites a hell of a lot more than that. So for me to pick it up for £10, I thought was really, really good. I have got another copy of it as well, which is this one. Which is exactly the same, but this is just a reissue. I was lucky enough to get this last year, I think it was, but I think I paid something like £20 or £25 for it. And to be honest, they both sound the same. That one and the original, I can't really tell a hell of a lot of difference, although there's a little bit of surface noise on that one. So I don't know if this was remixed or not, and obviously this one's got a ABK ABCO mark on it for some reason. Don't know what ABCO got to do with the Kinks, I'm not sure. 2000s reissue. Lovely. A lot of these original 1960s stroke Pi catalogue Kinks albums you can get as reissues. So, you don't have to spend a fortune. I mean, mine's mixed. I've got reissues and I've got originals. But you just get what you can at the time. Then we've got Percy. This is one of the most strangest Kinks albums ever. It is an official Kinks album, but it was also to a film starring Hugh Bennett. And it got Brick Etland in it and Denham Elliott. And So it was a soundtrack to film, and the film was about the first man to have a penis transplant, willy transplant. But having said that, I've never seen the film, so I don't know what the film's like, but I've played this, and it is actually a really, really nice album. So you've got God's Children, then you've got a version of Lola, which is just like an instrumental, so there's no singing in it. Then you've got The Way Love Used to Be, then you've got Completely, then you've got Running Round Town, and then Moments. Side 2 is Animals in the Zoo, fantastic song, really is a fantastic song. Just Friends, Whip Lady, Dreams, Helga, Willesden Green, and God's Children End, which is like a reprise of the opening track. All compositions by Raymond Douglas Davis, produced by Ray Davis. An Anglo EMI film presentation by Nat Cohen. Yeah, this was still on Pi. NSPL 18365, and this one is stereo. And to be honest, this is probably one of the hardest Kinks albums to find an original copy of. You can get the issues pretty cheaply. I was lucky, I just found this on a site. The seller says it wasn't in very good condition, but when it came, apart from not having an original inner sleeve, it was okay. Cleaned it a couple of times, played it. Plays absolutely fantastic, so I'm really, really happy to have that in my collection. Just a couple more, folks. You got this one, the Kinks' Greatest Hits. This is from Belgium. So You Really Got Me, Tired of Waiting for You, Set Me Free, Till the End of the Day, Sunny Afternoons, Days, Autumn Alamac, Lola. Then side 2 got Well Respected Man, Dead End Street, brilliant song Dead End Street, Dedicated Full of Fashion, Dandy, Mr. Pleasant, oh Mr. Pleasant, how is Mrs. Pleasant, Waterloo Sunset, Death of a Clown, and Wonder Boy. I don't know how much this LP is worth because I've never ever seen another copy of it. I'm not saying it's unique, I just don't know if it's rare or not. It's on BR Music, licensed from PRT, so it's obviously late 70s, early 80s compilation. Some cracking songs on that though, aren't they? Leave that there so you can have a look. Again, if you ever see this and you're just a casual fan and you don't want to spend lots of money getting a collection, that is like the best of the Kinks, isn't it? Or as it says, the Kinks' Greatest Hits. Fantastic. These two we have featured in another video. Again, the Kinks' Greatest Hits. This is it's still on the Pi label, but it's a golden hour, so each one lasts an hour. That's probably the better one. That is more like B-sides and EP tracks and stuff on that one. That is mainly the hits. Again, you used to be able to get these quite cheaply. I haven't seen them for a while, so I'm not quite sure how easy or hard they are to get. Probably worth about between £5 and £15 each. Then we've got this one, the Kinks Backtracking, the definitive double album collection. Masterpieces, digitally mastered for sound perfection, it says on here. And this is sort of like a career retrospective up to the 1980s. So it's on 4 sides of 2 records. So side 1 you got You Really Got Me, Sunny Afternoon, Tired of Waiting, Dedicated Full of Fashion, Set Me Free, Everybody's Gonna Be Happy, All the Day and All the Night. Side 2 you've got Lola, Dead End Street, Waterloo Sunset, Autumn Alamac, See My Friends, Until the End of the Day. Side 3 you've got Supersonic Rocket Ship, Celluloid Heroes, Moving Pictures, Better Things, 20th Century Man. Where Have All the Good Times Gone? That is a live version, I think. Don't Forget to Dance, which was a single, wasn't it? So you've got Pie, you've got Arista and RCA. Side 4, you've got Come Dancing, which of course was a massive hit for them, wasn't it? 1983 that was. State of Confusion, Good Day, Pressure, Predictable, Do It Again, and Rock and Roll Fantasy. This was published in 1985. So again, this was, I haven't got hardly anything of the Kinks after Pie apart from like this. I think the one that I'm going to try and get is Muswell Hillbillies, which was the first album they made for RCA. But I've heard mixed reviews about that, so if you've got that album and you think I should get it, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's not a bad album. I paid £5 for that many years ago. Don't know what's worth, probably about £10-15, isn't it, to be honest. And then we've got this one, again, which I got the other week at the local record fair. The Kinks, the Ultimate Collection. This is on Castle, or Castle Communications. Basically, this is the best of the Kinks in the 1960s. So you got You've Really Got Me, All the Day and All the Night, Tired of Waiting, Everybody's Gotta Be Happy, Set Me Free, See My Friends, Till the End of the Day. Side 2 is Dedicated, Follow of Fashion, Sunny Afternoon, Dead End Street, Waterloo Sunset, Autumn Alamac, Wonder Boy. Side 3 is Days, Plastic Man. But everybody knows he is a plastic man, plastic man, plastic man. There used to be a clip of that on YouTube of them performing that on, I think it was a German show called Beat Club, and Dave Lee Travis of all people actually introduced them, and just to see the look on Ray Davis's face and Dave Davis's face, like singing this sort of like comedy song, and it's like trying the hardest not to laugh. Victoria, Lola, 8 Man, David Watts. Side 4, Where Have All the Good Times Gone? Well Respected Man, I'm Not Like Everybody Else. That's a fantastic song as well. End of the Season, Death of a Clown, and Susanna's Still Alive. So I hope you're all still feeling kinky after this video. It has gone on for a little bit longer than I was expecting it to. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, and you're not subscribed, just please think about subscribing, leaving me a like or leaving me a comment. I've got some of the best subscribers, I think. We are getting there, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. Whatever you're doing today, please stay safe. Remember, you are the Beat and Beatle Dave. Just something a little different, just to keep you all interested. The Kinks are in my top 5 bands of all time. The other one that we might do something on is the Small Faces. Another one of the bands that I think in some ways are very underrated. So I hope you've enjoyed it. And like I say, whatever you're doing, please stay safe. Thank you to everybody that is subscribing, leaving me likes and leaving me comments. I love you all. So till the next time, it's Beatle Dave wishing you all peace, love and happiness. And stay safe, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye everybody.